Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Soraya and we are back in No Man's Sky. Today we are working on base building. Finally, we've gotten there. We're going to make Stormpoint into the epic whole base of our dreams. That is to say, a base in a hole. It's going to be great. We are currently producing like 2,000-ish rusted metal. Oh, no, even better. Nope, 2,300 rusted metal per hour. And that translates to 4,600 ferrite dust every hour. So we're going to be using this rusted metal to get all of the ferrite dust that we could ever need for our base planning needs. So let's head on over to Stormpoint and get started. Alrighty, so we are back. Let's see here. So we want this to be pretty centered, and I think the way that we're going to make this a centered build is placing a marker on one side of the hole, then going all the way over to the other side of the hole and figuring out how far away that is, and then we can come to the halfway point. And then we can do it with the other side as well, and that'll get us pretty centered, and then from there we can begin building. We're going to have to build up, and then we'll build out from there. So let's see if we can do that here. And let's call it from this part right here. So let's take a look here. How far away are we? We are about 500, so let's go back until it says, let's say 250. Ow. Right about here. So let's put down our marker here. And then let's see if that's more or less centered. Let's call it from like right here-ish. About 150, 160. If it's not perfectly centered, I won't be too upset. But we want this more or less in the center. I think this is probably pretty centered. But we'll see here in a minute. How far are we here? 130? Yeah, that's more or less centered. I think that is the perfect center point for our base. Alright, so starting here, let's bring out an alloy triangle. Let's do the big alloy triangle, I think. And then let's turn this until the tip of the triangle is right on our marker. Like so. Let's back it up just a little bit. And while we're facing south, that way we have our cardinal directions lined up. Something like that. Right about there. Is that better? That's perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and build up from here. Let's see. How high are these? These are... I mean, it's not exact numbers. So let's just build up until we're happy, I think. Maybe 15 of these. I think that this is going to be where the floor starts. So if we were sitting here, yeah, I think that's fine. So let's pull out an alloy triangle and get our butts back up there. Goodness gracious. Man, it's an awful long way up. And another tip or trick as far as building in No Man's Sky goes, you see how there's this like bubble here that shows up whenever I reach like the outskirts. If you double tap the button that uses that gives you the building camera, so in my case it's B. I'm not sure what it is on console, but if I double tap B, it actually starts at your camera and then gives you another bubble. So it kind of resets your center point and allows you to go out farther. So that's how I'm getting out this far. So I believe I should be able to pin this on here somewhere. Am I wrong? There we go. Alright, and then we can take our alloy triangle and we can place it on there. There we go. Alright, so I think what I want to start off with is like a circle, more or less. There's no perfect circles in No Man's Sky, but if we take these and spread them out like this, and then we take our alloy triangles and fill in the holes here, I think we can make a pretty impressive sized circle. So let's is this gonna make some weird shapes after this? I'm gonna figure this out and then we'll be back. Alrighty. I don't know about you guys, but I think this looks pretty freaking cool. Awesome. So I think in going from here, we're gonna... Excuse you? How dare you fly through my building? Who the heck are you? One moment, guys. I gotta greet the neighbors. Who the heck are you? Also, why did you bring an interesting-looking ship with you? I don't have any money. You're gonna make me jealous that I don't have your ship. Scholar entity, whoever you are. You have anything good on you? Suspicious trades. I don't want your suspicious stuff. Get out of here. Can I kick you off my land? This is my land. Anything good? Oh, I don't have 5 million credits, man. I don't even have 2 million credits. I don't even have 1 million credits. Get out of here. Run along. So with this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start building from the inside out. So we'll start in the middle and build our way out. We're going to need like an area for, I don't know. We're going to need an area for like our teleporter room. We're going to need an area for refining things. We're going to need an area perhaps for the different vehicles and stuff. If we have the car up there, we could have like a road that goes out along a bridge. That'll be pretty neat. All sorts of cool stuff that we can do from here. But this is our base for building our base. The base of our base. Yeah, so I think the next thing we're going to do, I think in the very middle, I want a nice big central storage room. So I think that's what we'll start with first. Finally, sunrise. I've been waiting for this forever. All right, let's see here. So we have the beginnings of a circle here. And all I've done is I've got these triangles that I have like the center point where my character is here. And then behind that, we had some squares and triangles. So I got rid of that layer there. And I just linked these small panels onto the sides of each of these different building parts here so that I could snap walls onto there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use corridors which snap to the doors. I'm going to use these corridors to get, let's see here, where are they? The small cuboid rooms, the cuboid rooms. These should snap once I get rid of these walls. Silly me. So after I've done this, get rid of all these walls. Perfect. Now we grab our cuboid room, and as you can see, it snaps on right there, easy peasy. So we're gonna snap these on after I get some pure ferrite. Jeez, the days don't last very long on this planet. That's a shame. I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry if it's looks a little funky here with it being nighttime. But we're gonna continue around the circle here, linking these cuboid rooms. Once we have that done, we're gonna get rid of all of these corridors. Oh, look at me. Am I floating? Oh, look at me. I'm floating. I'm magic, guys. Let's see. So now that we have these put in place, we're going to extend them out one more space because the storage casings, the storage units, will link to these cuboid rooms, and we want to have them where this inner line is, so that we'll have this really cool storage room here in the middle. So we're going to link these on the outside here, like so, and then we're going to get rid of the inner ones, just like that. And before we put the storage units in, we're going to replace our floor so that we have something to land on when it finally kicks us off of our floating state here. Or maybe it'll put us on top of something, I don't know. Let's see, so we need our storage units, which are in here. We'll start off with number 0, and we'll just link it here. And just make sure, if you're following along here and you feel like doing this yourself, just make sure that your unit has its face facing inwards. And I'm out of magnetized ferrite. Be right back. All right, now let's get these all placed in. Oh, silly me. And there's only one of each per base, so you have to cycle to the next one in order to get the different storage units. And then we'll get rid of our cube rooms. And bam, there we have it. A pretty neat little look, I think. Oh, hello. You appear to be stuck, friends. I'm not sure there's any way I can help you. Are you even, like, real creatures? You're not even real creatures. Oh, yeah, you are real creatures. I'm sorry, you guys. I think I'm gonna have to do nature's job here. Sorry about that. Alright, so we've got these storage units in place, and now we just kind of got to decorate around them. So we can take, like, some walls and have them go around the outer wall, and that will make a nice little enclosure for these. And then we can have, like, a hallway that goes around the outside, perhaps. And as we move out, we can add more rooms. We could have, like, a big square room in each corner or something. We've got the landing pads here. We could possibly have the landing pads on, like, each of the corners. So that when we have friends, they can land their ships. Lots of cool stuff that we can do here. So I'm going to figure out how to enclose this, maybe do a little bit of decorating, and then I'll see you back in a minute. Whoa! That looks cool! Very neat. I can't tell if any part of it is glass. I used the skylight here. Man, that looks really cool. I mean, I'm sure it looks like crap outside. Yeah, look at that. That looks all funky and stuff. Actually, you know, in some ways, it doesn't actually look all that bad. It looks kind of cool. Man. It's like some kind of weird freaking architectural project. That's weird. But man, on the inside, that looks really freaking good. Holy cow. Very neat. How did I get hurt? I didn't do anything. Weird. Okay. So now we have the storage room kind of dealt with. I think... Ooh, you know what? I'm going to put some walls. Let's see here. Let's take some short walls. Can I get the walls to fit in, like, right here? Ooh. Now, here's a big question. Can I get it to fit, like, right there? Look at that! That gives it, like, a wooden kind of, like, background there. I wonder if I could do that on all of these. Oh man, I like that a lot. I like that so freaking much. Okay, so for most of these, I was able to use the same one, the same kind of technique, but there is one here in the middle where it's got this triangle space. You can't use the same thing that I was doing where I got like the smaller floor and stuck it in there and then put a wall on. So for these ones, I put a small alloy wall, this one here. I hooked it to the bottom right there, and then I used the point that allows walls to connect below this to get the wall in there. Man, that is cool. Man, I like that a lot. Alrighty, so it took a little bit of doing, but I think I have the first section here more or less complete. At least enough to kind of get an idea of what's going on here. So around this outer edge, I figure we could have a hallway of some nature. And then kind of in these corners, and I'll give you a better view here with the build camera. In these corners here, where the rooms meet, I figure we could have like almost a courtyard-y kind of thing, or maybe we can find something useful to do in them. But for now, it's just going to be an empty area here that we'll decorate in some neat way when we get the decorations unlocked. Yeah, and then these hallways will link up in between these rooms, and then this will also give us access between the two rooms here as well. So now all that needs to be done is this exact same thing on all four corners, and then we'll have our rooms ready to go, and we can start working on the different individual bits and bobs that need to go in each location. See you there. And done. Alright, we got all those pieces in place, and... Holy crap, what's that? Oh, I gotcha. So I got sidetracked. I was fiddling around with all of these boxes, and it turns out you need a lot more ferrite than I once thought. So I got a little sidetracked, and I started using some things called... I used a thing called a glitch. I did it, guys. I'm cheating. There's a technique called glitch building, and it allows you to do things like this, where you have like glass at an angle, and in using that angle, I was able to angle up these panels, and in doing that, I made kind of a cool roof, I guess. So it's got these cool repeating lines here, and they line up exactly, so I have two of them. And then I'm experimenting right now with how I might kind of cap this off. I'm thinking like another circle here of these walls, and then so I'll stop using this slant, and then I might finish it off as best as I can in like a dome shape, kind of similarly to how I did this, and hopefully that'll look kind of okay from the outside. I don't plan on having all of this space open. That's why I've kind of got these walls here. I'm experimenting on how I'm gonna kind of block off these different sections so that there's big hallways. You know, we can have a hallway here, and then this will be its own hallway ideally, and you'll have all of these different sections, and when you enter these buildings, they'll be their own separate buildings, and when you enter these courtyards, perhaps there'll be some kind of something that keeps you from experiencing the roof portion of this. and then we'll have this as an outer hallway. And I think, honestly, I think this area right here looks super, super good. And I don't know if I can, like, angle this to, like, come down into here, so maybe I can have an interior roof that way. Lots of experimentation to do, I suppose. We'll have to see what we come up with. But that's where we're at so far. It'll probably not end up being as long a video as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've been sitting here for a lot longer than 4 hours. I've recorded 4 hours of footage, but I've been here working on this for a lot longer than 4 hours. So I'm hoping that I can get all of this into a cohesive video. But if in the final edit, I'm just kind of coming back and being like, and this is done, and this is done. I hope you understand why. This is a lot of stuff, and I've got so much footage already. So I'm hoping that this will kind of make a succinct little video for you guys, and you guys won't have to sit here through me placing every single one of these little bits and crafting. The ferrite takes like 20 minutes every time I go and grab a new stack, so like it's a lot. Anyway, so I think I'm going to try to get this outside border done with this glass, because I'm fairly satisfied with this this glass. So I'm going to get this outer edge all finished up, and then maybe I'll get the outer roof done, and then we'll see where we're at then. And as the sun begins to rise, we come back to this. Ooh, very cool. I've done quite a bit over here, but I wanted to bring you guys in for the last little bit. I wanted to show you some of the tricks that I've been using to get some of the stuff that I've been doing. So I saved this last part right here so that we could build it together. I did use some glitch building, like I said earlier, to get these angles, and then I used another glitch to realign everything right here. You can see that this one's straight up and down. So I'll be showing you a little bit of glitch building as well, just in case you're wondering how I did it. So we'll start off with this, and we'll bring this up here. This has been fun, but good lord, this takes a long time. And what I want to say is, if you plan on making a massive build like this and you want to make something cool, take your time, take breaks when you need it. It's an undertaking, that's for dang sure. So anyway, back into this. I have been using. I was gonna have just like a flat roof made out of the flooring, but it looked a little plain. So I found these, and they give, a nice contrast, and they add a bit of texture. And I wanted to break it up a little bit, so I got these in here. One thing that I've learned from building, I play a lot of Minecraft, Satisfactory, things like that. One thing that I've learned is that just little ends and odds, little itty bits and things like that will add so much detail and so much texture to your build, and it makes it look so much more interesting than it ever could before. So when you're building, just experiment a little bit. I tried like 7 different building pieces in here before I was fully satisfied with what was going on. Get these last couple of bits in here. And get our little roof gables and stick those in there. Blammo. Alright. So up here, we'll scoot this over. Where's my... There we go. And then we'll get rid of that. Just fill this in. A little more. Can I get that? One right there. Come on. You can do it. Let's see if a new angle will get that in there for us. There we go. That's much better. And then these will need to be right here. And bam, we're ready for a little bit of glitch building. So I'm going to take this and move it right here. Perfect. So the techniques that I was using in order to get this all set up was a technique called the wire glitch and the reverse wire glitch. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take an alloy powered door. I believe you can use any powered door. I'm using the alloy one because I have a lot of ferrite dust. You can use whatever you want. And then we're going to remove this flooring, and we're going to pick up a flooring. So right here, what we need to do in order to complete a wire glitch is we need to click the button that toggles to wire and builds at the same time. If you're playing on PC like me, I got a huge tip from my friend Dread. You can check her out at Adventures with Dread on YouTube. Adventures with Dread and Friends, excuse me. And I'll leave a link to her channel down in the description. She told me to change my build button from mouse click to tab, and what I found is I went from like a 20% success rate in getting the glitch to work to like 80 to 90%. So huge tip right there. If you're playing on PC, make it 2 buttons. The buttons are much easier to get it to work. So let's see if I can get it to work. Hey, look at that. So you'll know if you got the wire glitch correct if it switches away from your floor panel and you have a wire here. And if you look here, the wire is placed right in the center of where the floor would have been. So we're going to put this up here and attach it to this power connection on the door. And this angle here is not what we're looking for. We need something that's straight on. So in order to get that, we're going to take another power door, and we're going to wire glitch again from over here. And just make sure that, especially in my situation where I've got 2 floors, make sure it's on the same level, because if I was going to do it down here, it wouldn't work right. It would angle the wire. So we're going to make sure that it's on the same level like this, and then we're going to do that wire glitch again. We're going to switch to wire and build at the same time. And you see, I failed there. It's a little finicky. It is a glitch after all. So just try a few times, and you see we got another wire. So we're going to bring it over to here. And now what you can see is this wire connector now has 2 angles. You can see it's straight on, and there's an angled version. And in order to get rid of that angled version, we're going to just get rid of that door. So now we have a wire that is straight on and doesn't have any angles to it. So this will be perfectly level for us. Now, in order to get... what I want is this angle right here. I want to have a short wall directly on top of this short wall, but it's straight up and down instead of at this angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another alloy wall. Where are they? The short alloy wall. Here we go. And we're going to place it right here, which, just so that if you're following along, it's right at the edge of this flooring. So right at the edge of this flooring, whoops, not a cube, we're going to take this alloy wall, and we're going to wire glitch it here. So again, toggle wire and build. And when you're doing this, you have to make sure that you hit toggle wire just slightly before build. It tricks the game into building a wire instead of whatever you were holding. So now we're going to attach this to this point, and now you can see that we've extended that a little bit. But this one is perfectly level, and we want it right here along this edge because this is where we're going to be doing the glitch. So now here's how you change the angles. We're going to take a flooring, and on that same level as before, we're not changing level, we're going to wire glitch this here. Oh, and I failed. So let's try that again. Oop, failed again. This definitely takes some patience, and it's not going to work every single time. There we go. But just take some patience. You know, if it gets frustrating, take a break. You'll get it eventually. So now that we have this spot right here, this is where we're going to be changing the angle. So if we were going to build off of this, this would be perfectly level with this. But we want to change the angle. So we're going to take a small alloy wall, and we're going to do what's called a reverse wire glitch. And the reverse wire glitch requires you to have the part that you want to use, in our case, the short alloy wall, and we're going to have it in our hand, and then toggle over to wiring. And this is something that's weird. It's been changing it to the previous building. So if that happens, just go back into your build menu, pick out the short alloy wall, and then try switching over to wire again. And you'll see now we're in wire mode. And what we're going to do is exactly the same thing, only instead of from building to wire, we're going from wire to building. So again, toggle wire and build in rapid succession. And again, I failed. So let's try that again. We're going to try this a few times until it works. There we go. So now you can see we built that perfectly centered here. And it's perfectly in line with this wire. So now this is how we change our angles. So I'll show you. So for instance, here we could do another wire glitch. So we can take our wire glitch and bring it over here. And this is a new angle that we can use to build. And then we can go up another one. And here we can wire glitch. Oops. Here we can wire glitch. As long as we're successful. And then we can move this to here. And this is a new angle as well. And this one here, this wire right here, is the one that I have been using for the roof. So I'm going to use that one as an example. But you can see that this wire connector has several angles. And you can only have 2 angles on it at a time, so you can't build all of these at the same time. So pick out whichever angle you're going to be using. In our case, it's going to be this one here. And then we're going to take whichever building piece we want to put here. So if I wanted a wall here, we could put a wall here. If I wanted any of these pieces. The technique is different for walls and floors. So right now I'm just using walls. There is a fantastic channel on YouTube called Beeblebum. If you go and check out Beeblebum, I'll leave a link to him in the description as well. He's got tons and tons of videos on glitch building and things like that. And he's actually who I learned my glitch building from. So I would recommend going and checking him out. He's got some playlists that have helpful tips as well. I'm not going to become a tutorial channel on this stuff. It's far too time consuming. This is a lot of stuff. But I figure the stuff that I am learning, I will try to teach. But yeah, if you want to learn more about glitch building, go check out Beeblebum. He's awesome. So now that we have our short wall, we're going to bring this over to here, and we're going to do another reverse wire glitch. So we're going to toggle over to wire, and then you can see we can rotate this wire connector and have 2 different angles. So since we want the one that's straight up and down, we're going to select the one that's straight up and down, and we're going to do another reverse wire glitch. Toggle wire and build. And as you can see, first try, we got that wonderful angle that we want. And once that's done and you're satisfied, you can delete all of your wires and all of your scaffolding and things like that. And now we can just build off of this, and we can pop it right on in here. And then we can replace this. And bam, as you can see, we've got this wonderful new angle that we can build off of. So now, get a little scaffolding for this roof piece here. It needs a floor. We're just going to build up what we have on all the rest of the roof pieces. Oops, built that in a random place. We'll have to go find that later. And we'll just finish building this up. Awesome. So now we've learned a little bit of glitch building. With those short walls, you can move them up as high as you want. You can move them down as low as you want. And every single one that you place is going to change the angle of that wall. So you can get pretty creative with it. And that's how we got these windows down here. These angled windows all used glitch building. And those angles right here were glitch building as well. That's the only glitch building that I used in this particular build. Maybe we'll do some more later. Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll become a tutorial channel. Who the heck knows? But until that time arrives, for now, we're going to keep it nice and simple. So we're going to finish off this area. I'm going to get a roof on here. I'm going to finish building this interior area right here. And then when everything's all finally said and done, we'll come back one last time and we'll take a look at the finished build. Ooh. Everything's all bright and powered up. We're back. And it's pretty much done, I think. I mean, aside from like decoration and actual like useful stuff being in here, the physical build is done. Thank goodness. I've put the portal here temporarily. I plan on moving it, but we're going to start off here. So as you can see, we got our hallways. Oh, man, look at that. Nice, smooth transition into the ceiling here. Absolutely lovely. Our exterior hallway is all done. We've got these wooden wall caps to kind of fill in the gaps between these slanted walls. The walls are all complete. These little courtyard areas in here have ceilings now. That's very nice. All of the rooms, they connect to one another in some kind of fashion, so we can go in between them like this. And then there's a nice central hallway in the middle here. Oh man, it just looks so nice in here. I'm quite content with the work that we've done here. I've added some doors to the storage area. Very sleek, in my opinion. Nothing much has changed in here. I'll show you the exterior as well. If we capture a new screenshot, you can see... Oh man, this place just kept getting better and better. I'm planning on adding some more landing pads, but until that happens, we'll just have the one. I added these slanted alloy walls to kind of close the gap here in between this straight up wall and the slanted walls. I think that looks quite nice. And then the roof over here. Oh man, the roof I think looks pretty darn good. I used these roof caps, and then on the inside it's just a ton, and I mean a ton, of the angled interior. I don't even know what the heck they're called. Oh, but man, I think it makes it look so freaking good. And then I want to show you one more place. I think this will end up being where I'm going to put my teleporter. So there should be... I might move the base computer. There will be like a short-range teleporter here. And then when that's all set up, I want to be able to... I'm going to have to kind of cheat my way through here. Don't look, anybody. Don't you look. Don't you look. I see you. I see you peeking. I got to get a triangle in here. Maybe. Perhaps. Please. I don't know if I can without this here. Put that there. Grab a triangle. Put a triangle here. Bam. It's all fixed. Don't look at behind the scenes, guys. I see you cheating. Alright, let's get up here. Ooh, secret wall. Put this back, please. Blammo. Okay, so on the inside of here, look at how cool this looks. Imagine like a tube or something coming down and then having that short-range teleporter up here. And then we could have the portal up here, maybe. But man, I think this is the coolest bit. It's all geographical and stuff. Oh man, not geographical. What's the word for the art that does all the weird angles and stuff? Whatever that word is, it's that. Oh man, I'm super stoked about how this turned out. There is this weird gap in between here and there, but honestly, I don't mind it. I might find a way to connect that in the future on my own time, but we'll see about that when we get there. But yeah, man, this is oh, it's so good. It's so good. We're gonna have so many rooms. Here's where I've been doing refining. These rooms can go up to 2 levels before it starts interfering with other behind-the-scenes stuff. But until we need a 3rd story in here, I think 2 will be just fine. We'll get a whole bunch of these refiners up and running. Oh, man. It's going to look so good when we finally unlock decorations and we get all sorts of good stuff in here. But until then, this is what it is, and I think it looks pretty good. Holy crap! I almost got my head taken off by a rogue flyer. Look at this guy. Oh, man. Okay, I guess we have to watch out for freaking spaceships in our base. Good lord. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me here. It's been a blast building this thing, even though it took me like 20 hours. I kid you not. It's taken me so long. But I think it was well worth it. If you like the base or you like me, leave a like on the video. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And notification time. There's a Discord now. Look down there. There's a description down there. There's a link to my Discord. Come hang out. Ask me questions. Tell me how bad I am at building. Whatever you want to do. It's going to be a fun time in the Discord. So feel free to join if you want. And if you want to see more videos here, feel free to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.